Welcome to PA Timber Ghost. Today is Wednesday, October the 8th. Currently we are at Pine Grove Furnace State Park. We booked a campsite for 2 nights. Check-out time is 3 o'clock like the other state parks. Most of these campsites have electric. This one does not. There are a lot of tent campsites in here. It rained last night, so everything in here is wet. And as usual, the campground is picked clean of firewood. So let me show you what we brought with us. I have a pile of scrap lumber from my shop. I have a small shop behind my house where I do some of my projects, and a lot of my tools and things are in there for my remodeling or restoration project has been ongoing in my home. So I do have a pile of wood. There is a firewood shed when you come in, and on the right hand side, and I walked in there, and each piece of firewood is a little bit longer than this, maybe about this big. It's about this big around, and they want $1 a stick. So it's very old, and you can tell because it's kind of like silver and gray, and it's been there for a while. And it's kind of funny to me how many dead trees are coming down, and yet they're trying to take advantage of the campers for $1 a stick. A lot of people walking through here are trying to find some firewood. So you hear some banging behind me. Tomorrow we'll go down behind the lake and see if we can find some hardwood that came down. I have a saw and an axe with me, and we'll put some wood behind in the back end of the car here. Very tiny campsite. I'll tell you some final thoughts on this at the end of the video. Last time I went camping, we were at Lyman Run State Park. I would give that campground a 9.0 out of 10. Everybody up there is very friendly, lots of wildlife. You could get firewood pretty much anywhere if you drove outside of the campsite and you had a saw or an axe with you. You could cut it up, put it in the back of your vehicle. But as far as this one here, there's not a lot of room, and this place probably gets packed. So the jury is still out on this campsite. I'm going to put up my new tent here. I had a poll on the community page what kind of tent you would buy. Are you a Coleman guy? Kelty. I have an Emo backpacking tent. That's a 2-person. And I had 3 or 4 other tents. I also have a Cabela's tent, which is a 2-man tent. I've had that the longest. That is actually what we started camping in. And a 2-person Emo tent, it weighs about 2.5 pounds. That's strictly a backpacking tent. That's very tiny. This tent here came in a 6-person or an 8-point. This is a monster. I want to be able to camp in a little bit of luxury here, kind of glamping. I don't want to crawl in and out of my tent. I want to be able to stand up inside of it. So this is a Kelty Daydreamer 6. It weighs 20 pounds roughly. The center height of the tent is 77 inches. Pack size is 24.9 by 9. I've had this up 2 times. In the backyard, I've changed the guidelines. I put fluorescent guidelines because what comes with this is a very dark paracord, and you can trip over it very easily. So I'll show you the guidelines I put on this, but there's my tent. It comes with 2 long DAC poles. Most tents have 4. This one actually has pockets in it, so it's a very easy setup. It clips up pretty easily. And the poles I could not get back in the bag because I also bought the footprint that goes under here to protect the bottom of the tent. I also have a 16 by 12 tarp I'm going to attach to the trees behind me and attach it to the canopy, which will be behind me, and the tent will go here. That'll give us a little bit of privacy because we're literally 12 feet off the road that goes through the campsite. All right, let's put our tent up here. We'll be right back. Heated up fairly easy. If it was raining, I would have put my canopy up and then I would have put the tent up underneath of it. All the guy lines I replaced with this color power cord. This glows in the dark. This is what the Kelty comes with, and this is the new power cord that I put on there. And of course I replaced all the stakes also, which is usually the stakes that come with your tent, or any tent for that. Usually don't stay in the ground very well. Everything here is from Amazon, and I will put links to all this down in the comment section. There's my tent peg, giant nail, and you can wrap your cordage around here and then just push it in the ground. No fancy fasteners. I'm not real big on tighteners. They're all plastic. I would rather just wrap the cord around here and then make a very simple square knot in it. It comes out very easily. Nothing fancy. Anybody can do this. And the way I have the tent set up, it'll take 13 of these. The rain fly will actually clip to the bottom of the pole. And I'm going to peel off 13 pegs here. You can hammer these in, and they'll pretty much go into anything. They will bend if you hit solid rock, but these are steel. They are not aluminum, like many of the tent pegs that you get. 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13. And I do have 2 extra pegs in case I lose one. Alright, we'll be right back. Let's set up our Coleman stove here. You got two propane bottles. This will last quite a while. This one has a little bit of gas in. This one's still full. Coleman stove, actually, the new one is very efficient. One of these bottles will last for quite a few trips or quite a few meals. You have a non-stick stone coating on the frying pan, a vinyl spatula so it doesn't scratch the pan. We're going to make a steak and a baked potato. It's been a long day. It took us a little while to set everything up. Good old Coleman stove, 2 burners. You can cook an entire meal in here. We had this up in Potter County, and it worked really good. Much better than the old one. The old one kind of was a fuel hog. We went through a lot of propane. These burners on this one are very efficient. I wish they made a case for this stove. The only thing I don't like about this stove is this hard connection on there. The old stove, it had like a flexible hose on there. This kind of limits where you can put your propane bottle. I do have a 5-pound bottle I bought for the stove. Nice giant T-bone steak. Look at the size of that T-bone. Put some butter in there. You can hear it sizzling already. Salt. My steak is almost done cooking. How do you like your steak? Medium rare? Rare? Well done. I like mine well done. Maybe just a little pink. And then I like to let it rest for a little bit. After that's cooked, I'm going to put my potatoes in here. Put a little butter in there, cook them in half, and let them saute in there very slowly. And by the time I'm done eating this giant steak, my potatoes should be done. Doesn't that look delicious, Tony? I know you're the steak guy. There's my steak. You make me jealous every time you eat those giant T-bone steaks. Looks so delicious. It's almost enough for 2 people. We'll let that rest for a few minutes. Just cut these in half. Still have some of the juices from the steak in the pan. Get my light to hit that just right so you can see that. We'll put some seasoned salt in there. Turn our heat up a little bit. Seasoned salt. Get them to cook on all three sides. Stand them up in the pan like this. That way they're nice and crispy. Almost like a potato wedge. Alright, time for our potatoes. Round 2 of our delicious meal for this evening. I'm going to make some coffee here after I finish these potatoes off. Oop, that one got away. I could have made a meal of these 2 potatoes just by themselves. Here we go. 3-second rule. Turn the flame off here. Mocha latte time. Yeah. Swiss Miss hot chocolate and a Folger single. Coffee single, no freeze dried here. Take our spoon out of there. Fill her up. Oops, too much. Too much water. Dump a little bit out there. Put our coffee in there. Give that a few minutes and we'll be right back. 1 coffee and 2 hot chocolates. Here's 1. There's 2. So delicious. Yeah, we'll let that cool off so I don't burn my mouth. Let's stoke our fire up here a little bit. We'll throw some more of our wood scraps in there. We'll get some more light so you can see me. These actually burn really well. These are pieces of 5/8 plywood. I have some 2x4s for my projects over the summer. Get that campfire rolling. Welcome back to my nice rolling fire here. Campground's starting to settle down. Mocha latte. Cheers. It's been a very busy summer for me. Lots of things going on at work. I survived the major layoff. We laid off about 300 people. Some of them took the buyout package, they retired. Some of my co-workers moved to other buildings where they had openings. So we have been dooged. A lot of companies are going to that, running very lean. Economy's definitely changing at a rapid pace. But But we'll leave that for another video. Lots of banging going on around. I'm not sure what they're building over there. The guy up above there, he's chopping some serious firewood. My lumber scraps are burning quite brightly there. Very little smoke because they're so dry. So what have I been doing all summer? Why haven't I made any videos? Spending a lot of time working on the house. You get ready to, you're going to retire at some point in time. You have to borrow a lot of money against equity in your home to remodel your house. Or you can just do it yourself, which is what I've chosen to do. I'm about 3 years into my, shall we call it, restoration project. One room at a time, every room. We got a furnace last year. That was very expensive. And then the next few years we'll probably get central air. I'm repairing all the electrical and plumbing issues. And some of the rooms I've actually taken the drywall off all the way down to the studs to repair some of the air leaks. In my dining room we actually had an infestation of stink bugs in there. I could smell them through the drywall. So I pulled the drywall off and I pulled a couple thousand stink bugs out of there. That was such a lovely smell. Some of them were alive, some of them were dead, and what they did is they crawled in between the laps in my vinyl siding on the south side of the house, because that's the warmest side. And they were directly above where my baseboard heaters were. So that kept them from freezing throughout the winter, because I have tile behind my baseboard heaters, which helps keep my house much warmer. And then after that, my 35-year-old 10 by 20 deck had some major structural issues. Over the winter last year it started to list forward. It moved about 12 inches out of square, so my deck is 4 foot off the ground. It actually went like this. Everything was out of square. So I spent the last 3 months demolishing actually the decking part of my deck so I could stand in between the joists and dig footers under there. I put 8 footers in there, 6 by 6, 4 bags of concrete in each hole with a digging iron and a post digger. And I did 2 holes at a time. So every 2 holes took me 1 weekend. It took me 2 weekends to demolish all the decking. And this weekend I'll go back, I'll start replacing the railing. And I also have to build a new set of steps to replace my steps. What happens usually is if you have an old deck, if they put nails in it, your nails will actually start to disintegrate. They get very thin, and the structural integrity of your nails will give away, which means that your deck is going to start to lean, and eventually it will collapse. I had an estimate for my deck to have that deck demolished and replaced. It would have cost me $25,000. So for me to repair that, I bought some tools, and it will cost me about $5,000. So far I have 75 hours into my deck, and it's been a lot of weekends, vacation time, and hopefully it'll be done in the next few months. Had some health issues to deal with. Ended up in the emergency room one night. They're not sure what it was, but I think I had a what they call a micro heart attack. Doing too much, overloading my body, so I've been taking it easy. I haven't done too many videos, but hunting season time, so we'll be making some videos here other than this one. That's all I have for tonight, so we'll see you tomorrow morning. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you didn't click through yet. We'll see you in the morning. Welcome back to day 2. Today we're going to make some turkey scrapple. This is a local product from our area. John F. Martin and Son. Turkey scrapple is becoming hard to find. Shady Maple no longer carries it. So sometimes you have to look around trying to find some turkey scrapple. Got some pretty hefty bagels here. We're going to toast these in the pan, and then we'll cook the scrapple. Not a lot of wildlife last night. There was a couple of owls I could hear hooting in the distance. And this actually isn't the very best campsite. I kind of wish I would have Picked one in the back closer to the woods. We had some visitors shining their flashlight through our campsite last night, which was very annoying. And that's something I don't like. I do have a trail camera back in the corner in one of the trees, so I can know if anybody's walking around in here, but that woke me up. It's very disrespectful. And then all the other commotion that was going on last night. Guy above us, I don't know what he was doing. He was splitting wood. He's directly behind us. He was splitting wood till very early in the morning. And then down below, I don't know what was going on down there. He was chopping wood from sundown to about 11 or 12 o'clock at night. I'm really surprised that nobody complained. We just try to be respectful when I'm in an area like this because it's very quiet. Campsites are very close together. See, the problem is because where we're camped, the road is right here, so I have a tarp covering it. But every time somebody goes to the bathroom at night with their headlight on, you can hear them walking past. Doesn't mean they're not up to no good, but whoever walked by here at 1 o'clock in the morning, he was lighting up the camp with a flashlight, the tent. We were looking at the table, so that was a little unnerving. Hopefully we'll have better results tonight. We'll take a look at the campsite map here later after we're done eating. I'll show you where we're camping at. But, some of the better campsites are in the back. There's an amphitheater back in the corner. And most of the RVs are at the bottom. So we're going to toast our buns here in the frying pan and some butter. I'm going to go look for some firewood later too. I did bring some firewood. Are you the guy that goes to the local hardware store and comes back with a big bundle of firewood like this? Basically it's $1 a stick. Salt and pepper.
Let's sit right there.
Alright. Put some more seasoned salt in here. Nobody was willing to talk this morning. I walked the loop. See if anybody else was out walking around. You wear a camo, people generally don't want to talk to you. They seem to be afraid of the camo, like you're a crazy guy that hunts and wears camo. Oh, wait a minute, that would be me. Next Saturday I should start to do some deer hunting. Hopefully we'll get some snow this year. That always helps out a lot when you're hunting. Scrapple's brown. Doesn't that look delicious? You can hear the sizzle in the pan. I'm going to put some cheese on our bagel. We have some pepper jack cheese, jalapeno on a stick. Haven't heard that for a while. Jeff Dunham. Put our turkey scrapple on our bagel. Morning breakfast with the PA Timber Ghost. Coming to you from Michaud State Forest. On a very cold Thursday morning. We'll fry our eggs next. Mrs. Timber Ghost is getting hungry. Her tongue's hanging out. I can hear her stomach growling. There we go. Doesn't that look delicious? Go camping Take a Coleman stove and a cooler, make some real food. It only takes a few minutes to have a better meal.
Don't like freeze dry.
These dried stuff gets old very quick, and there's a lot of salt in there. If you have some health issues, the doctor will always tell you to stay away from the salt. Are you a person that can crack an egg with one hand and not make a mess? Let's see. Let's try it. Ready? Oh, that wasn't pretty. Got shells in there. That was not good. Nope, it's not me. Get them shells out of there. That one might be a little crunchy. There's a piece of scrapple. Nope. I am not that talented. You gotta use two, and I still make a mess. Which campground in Pennsylvania is your favorite campground to camp at? So far, mine is Lyman Run State Park. I spent a lot of time camping in the Poconos growing up. You might visit that next summer. Got a couple more camping trips planned for 2026. You have to make some adjustments to our setup. Heat, definitely have to have some heat in there. You might put an air mattress in the tent and a larger sleeping bag. Maybe a double one. Leave me a comment down in the comment section. Are you a tent camper or are you an RVer or a glamper? Personally, I prefer the tent because it's much cheaper than trying to maintain an RV or a fifth wheel. I've camped in a few of those, but I still like the tent. But okay, time to eat. I hit my head on this lantern about 10 times so far this morning. It's just like when I bend over, it's just bong, it got me. Good thing my head is hard. Here we go. Doesn't that look delicious? It's the size of an Angus burger. Mmm, so good. One for Mrs. Timber Ghost.
They were pretty big.
One for Mr. Timber Ghost. We are in search of some firewood. I'm glad I did bring some firewood with me. I had it in a milk crate. And I burned one this morning. It was all hardwood. It was a maple from one of my neighbor's trees. But we're going to go see if we can find some wood somewhere this morning. Sitting along the campfire, relaxing here. Pine Grove Furnace State Park campground map. This shows you all the campsites that are available in the park. Currently I'm at campsite number 3, which is down here. And we are directly behind the road. And I should have chose a better campsite because everybody that's going to the bathroom, which is up to the right, will walk right past your campsite all night long. And the 3 people that were walking around through the park have left for the day. We figured out who they were. The park ranger drove through here a little bit earlier. Lots of great campsites in here. The center here is really packed. Unfortunately, that's where I picked. Having never been actually camping in here. And these are very close together. Some of the better campsites what else I can tell from walking around. Or on the bottom. And they have nothing behind them when they're further back from the road. So the better ones, if you can see down here where my finger is, start at 70. And they go all the way up to the corner. There's a water tank up here in the corner. There's a playground. There's an older gentleman here that takes care of the park. He has a golf cart out there. And as soon as you come into the campground, his trailer is on the left-hand side. I can't remember if they told me his name is Pat or Bob. So there's a trail map for the campsite. This is on the bulletin board when you come in. Tonight it's supposed to get very cold. I believe it's going to go down to 34 degrees. It was pretty cold here last night. It was about 38 or 39. So we went to what, Chambersburg?
Yeah.
So this morning we drove up to Chambersburg to get something a little bit warmer, because tonight it's supposed to go down to 34 degrees and there may be a frost here. I gave up on the foam mattress on my cot. I actually bought a Walmart brand, and this says Static V Climate. This was about $50, and it only has a one-way valve, so when you blow air into it, it doesn't stay shut. So it's kind of tricky to blow this up. But I put this on top of my cot, and we both have 15-degree bags. My wife has a 15-degree sleeping bag with I believe it's 700 fill down, and I have a quilt that's 700 somewhere around there down. I forget how much fill is in there. Also at Walmart we bought another a warmer sleeping bag we're going to use for a blanket tonight. This is an Ozark Trail 15-degree cool weather sleeping bag. Definitely not a backpacking sleeping bag. It weighs a hefty 9 pounds. Has a cotton canvas shell, inner pocket, insulated chest and zipper baffles. It's kind of on the big side. It's 7 foot long and 3 foot wide. So we want to use it as a blanket. So 7 foot is plenty. It'll actually hang off the end of both of our cots. And if I unzip it, it'll be 6 feet wide. So we're actually going to use this as a comforter. Underneath, over top of both of our sleeping bags so we stay warm tonight. And I also closed all the vents on the tent to keep some of the heat in. It was kind of chilly in there last night. Tomorrow we'll probably eat breakfast, head out around 10 or 11 o'clock. It took us about 2.5 hours to get here. Whatever you do, don't buy any firewood at the woodshed down there. It's $1 a stick, and they're kind of wimpy. Most of the guys I see in here, they've been chopping wood all day. I don't know where they got it from. I think a couple of them filled up the back of their pickup truck with wood somewhere. But I drove down the road, down behind the second lake where the Appalachian Trail goes up over the mountain. Got my own firewood. I like to burn maple because this burns a long time. This is a pretty hefty chunk of firewood. I have a little handsaw. I always have a handsaw and an axe with me in case I can find some big rounds, like where the trees fall over the road, and the township has to cut them up to clear them off the road. Sometimes you'll find rounds that are about this big. If I can pick them up and get them in the back of my car, usually what I'll do is I'll bring them to the campsite, split them in about 6 pieces, and I'll have plenty of firewood the rest of the night. So I have about 7 or 8 of these off of one tray. I don't have a lot of room in the RAV4, but I have enough to get some of these in there. I wish I could have made another trip. The base of the maple tree was about this big around, and I did not feel like cutting that in half. Hardwood can be really hard to cut with a little tiny folding handsaw. So it's pretty quiet in here tonight. Talking to some of the people camping around me. Lots of chipmunks in here. Have some owls at night. The campers next to us, right across the road on the other side, they're from Maryland. They come here quite often. No deer, no bear, but this campground will be open to sometime in December. So if you're a hunter, bear hunter, deer hunter, that you could bring your camper here and use this for a base camp and hunt the surrounding Michaud Forest, which there are some deer in here. Last time we were here, we cruised up around the lake. We came up for the day doing a scouting trip to come back and camp, and we did see a couple deer up there. I'm amazed by how many cabins are up there in the woods. That's a very nice drive. So what's on the menu tonight? Tonight we're going to make some cheeseburgers. I had to get some more gas with a Coleman stove. Next time you go camping, leave that camping food home. Leave the tuna fish home, the MREs, anything that's freeze dried. Just buy yourself a nice ice chest. I have a Coleman high performance ice chest. It's 54 quarts, and it cost me about $200. It'll hold ice for about 4 days. A Yeti's about $450 and up, and there's no way that a Yeti is worth that much. Or you can get an Ozark cooler from Walmart. That's a little bit cheaper. Most coolers will hold ice for about 4 or 5 days. The trick is that you want to put ice in it a couple days before you take the cooler. We're getting bombed by acorns. I do believe the acorns poked a hole in my rainfly on my tent. We're getting bombed right and left, so we'll have to do some maintenance on that at some point in time. Probably next year I'll have to find those pinholes and seal them up with some glue. That's the only thing that could make these little tiny holes in there. It probably came from the bottom of the acorn or the top, because there's like a little point in there. But this morning I had no pinholes in my rainfly, but now we came back later and I looked in there, I could see 3 little tiny pinholes. So it all makes sense now because I see the acorns bouncing off the tent. There's our firewood for tonight. This will probably burn for a long time. I'm going to walk around here, see if I can find a few more logs. Thanks for coming along on our camping trip to Pine Grove State Furnace. Hopefully you enjoyed this short video. As always, give this video a like. It helps other people see it. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. That's it. We're just hanging out in the car, trying to stay warm, because it's cold in the tent, even with them 2 sleeping bags. It's freezing in there. Can't see me? I can. I'm green. It's like I'm being watched. Hey, I think we're lost. Wait, look, your map's upside down. No wonder we're lost. You're going the wrong way.